Before words, there was knowing. Before sound learned how to carry meaning. Before breath understood it could become prayer, there was the quiet agreement between things that had not yet been named. The ground remembers footsteps before feet ever arrived. The sky practiced holding weight long before clouds trusted it. Some truths don't enter the world loudly, they arrive already accepted. I think love begins this way, not as desire, not as promise, but as recognition, like something ancient inside you, leaning forward and whispering, there you are.
Ever called anything love, there was the way your presence altered gravity. Rooms leaned toward you, light arranged itself more carefully. Even dusk seemed slower when you were near. The land knew rain before it ever learned the sound of it. Clouds gather long before thunder confesses. The body knows loss before the mind dares to name it. There's a tighten in the ribs, a small animal instinct that understood departure as soon as footsteps hesitate.
You were never loud in my life, you arrived the way dust does.
Not asking permission, not announcing intention, just softening every hard edge until resistance felt foolish.
I loved you the way old clocks love time, by letting it pass through, by measuring without owning,
by understanding that holding too tight breaks the very thing you're trying to protect.
Nothing dramatic happened, no breaking glass, no slam doors, no villain worth pointing at. Just the quiet miracle of two people changing at slightly different speeds.
You began reaching toward distance, the way sunflowers reach for light. I began reaching inward, like roots searching for something that would not move. I think that's the saddest way to lose someone, when no one is wrong enough to blame, when love is still kind but no longer aligned, when the map stays the same but the travelers don't.
There were evenings when we sat across from each other, and I could feel time stretched thin between us, not breaking, just thinning, like ice learning it cannot survive the warmth beneath it. Sometimes I feel you in the weight of air before a storm, not the storm itself. The moment where the sky decides it can't hold everything anymore.
The pressure, the pause, the trembling honesty of something about to fall.
You taught me that love doesn't always stay, but it always alters the room.
Even now, years later, I move furniture differently. I leave space where your laughter used to land. There's a cup in the cabinet I still reach for first, a habit shaped like your hand, I don't correct it. Some reflexes deserve to live even after their reason fades.
I walk slower now, not because I'm tired, but because I've learned how fragile moments are when they're still alive. How easily joy slips past when we're looking for forever instead of now. I used to believe permanence was proof of value, that if something ended, it must have failed. But seasons end without apology, daylight leaves without regret, and still we call them beautiful.
If I ever speak of you again, it won't be with grief, it will be with gratitude for the way you taught me how deep silence can be without being empty, how absence can hold shape, how memory can be warm. Instead of sharp, there were mornings When you slept beside me and the world felt paused, not frozen, just suspended in kindness. I didn't know then those were rehearsals for remembering.
We would never fight, we were lantern light, steady, intentional, small enough to protect with our hands, bright enough to see each other clearly. Maybe that's why it hurt when the wind changed. Lanterns don't survive indifference, they require tending. And somewhere along the way we both grew distracted by horizon.
I don't fault you, growth pulls at us differently. Some hearts are rivers, some are wells. Neither is wrong, they just answer thirst in their own way. There are nights when I stand outside and let the dark press close. I listen for what remains, not your voice. That would be too simple, but the shape you left inside my becoming.
Because that's what love does when it's honest. It carves, not wounds, architecture. I'm built differently.
Because you were here, my windows open wider, my doors close softer, my walls know the strength of restraint. Somewhere the world is still gentle, not everywhere, but enough to remind me that what we had was real.
Even if it was temporary, and maybe that's all we were.
Not forever, not fate, not tragedy.
Just one of the last gentle things
to happen to each other, and in a life full of noise and breaking and hurry.
that was holy.